Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today. It is May 1st, and we are returning once again with our monthly gold update and how we did for the month of April now that it has been wrapped up in its entirety. Big things happening, obviously, with the Age of Annihilus, but it's also impacted how we're kind of seeing the gold economy. And keep in mind, guys, I'm still in hoard mode. I've still been hoarding campaign energy for the last couple months, so you'll see that obviously through my screenshots here of how much it's grown, but obviously that's going to play a factor in the gold and trading materials as well. So, well, without further ado, guys, let's just get started here into the strategy. Remember, we talk about this in each and every single month's update. So for those of you that are new to the channel that haven't seen this video before, I make this update every single month because I want to assess overall how much gold we're earning free to play. And that's really what's been able to help me kind of find success in this game, especially managing those resources. But the 2024 strategy plan was, if we were going to budget every single day, let's just say we spend X million gold per day, what are the savings and would we be able to keep up with the meta? And we got these answers last year. Yes, you could keep up the meta so as long as you have your priorities in certain game modes. You can't be the best of everything, but so as long as you're managing what you can do well at and what you prioritize with your alliance, it is able to give you the opportunity to succeed. And then on average, what we calculate now and what we've been seeing for the entirety of 2025 is that we're still in this 250 million gold to 300 million gold per month, dependent on a little bit of RNG here with the gold orbs, dependent on how engaged you are with the strike passes and battle passes. But remember, I'm free to play. So what I'm giving you here are the raw numbers without any spending whatsoever. But yeah, the 2024 overview, I like to show this because you guys can get a sense of what we were actually earning every single month, what we spent, and then the net, right? And overall, this was still able to allow me land in the top 10 to 20 in arena. I unlocked every legendary in Old Man Logan and Shadow King when they first released. Now that we have the Age of Annihilus details, Quasar and future legendary characters, they're going to be more, free to play accessible because the shards are actually locked into engagement and there shouldn't be any spending for those. So really, it's kind of pivoted quite a bit. The new trials or scourges that return are going to be mainly just to reward players for essentially red stars. But yeah, even from the management of gold, I was able to land top 4,000 in the Mephisto unlock, top 3,200 in Odin, Dark Dimension 7 and 8 respectively. And again, 100% free to play, no battle passes, no strike passes. So what you're seeing here are the raw numbers that we earn. Now, thankfully, the trend is basically continue where we left off, right? Starting June to December of last year, you can see in the green is where the gold economy started getting a lot better. Even though our spending ramped up to prepare for obviously the dark dimensions, the gold actually was matching that or more, and we were able to actually have savings. That's why you'll see as we progress, you'll see that my gold balance only gets higher and higher because I am earning more than I'm spending. So January 2025, we start things off with a bang. Shadow King Trials has returned for quite a bit now. So this is the first time it came back after the initial release. We had to escape kiln, but you can see here in January, our gold balance added an additional 104 million from December, even though our spending was 186. So in total, our net was actually 272 million because of the fact that, remember, I'm budgeting 6 million gold per day. So bare minimum, I'm always spending at least 180 to 186, depending on the days of the week. Now, I like to take a look at what the ending balance of the previous month was compared to the ending balance of the next month, so we can get a sense of are we trending higher, or are we trending lower? And what you'll see in each of the slides I have here is really notably my gold balance, and as well as power cores. And you'll see here, this is where I didn't start hoarding yet, right? My campaign energy still looks normal, but these numbers are going to keep on growing because that's kind of my game plan right now, guys. The power cores have become so important now in the game that it's a pivoting tool to unlock characters sooner rather than later. I know they're trying to get better with that, but that's really what it's come down to now, right? February 2025, return of Old Man Logan trials. And remember, February is a shorter month, but even despite that, our gold balance increased by 147 million. This was 536 in January, and it ended up being 683. And again, we only spent about 139 because we actually saved. I pivoted a bit on my strategy here because there was actually no new team to build. There was a team, but we didn't require it, and I'm not highly engaged in Cosmic Crucible, so I will skip Starjammers and whatnot unless I absolutely need to. But you can see there was actually 6 days where we saved, and we spent only 1.2 million. So I'm tracking like that. So we earned a little bit and saved a bit, and that's actually going to help us for the future months, which you'll see. March Very strong month. Shadow King returns again. It was the 7th anniversary. Usually they give a lot of rewards, and we also had the return of Escape Kiln. The gold balance only slightly increased from 683 to 739, so a net of 56 million. We also started spending a lot of gold here, guys, as you can see right here, right? 329 million is what we earned for the net, because of the fact that we actually spent more than the 6 million gold per day. 174 million coming from 29 days in the month of March, and then there's 2 days here where I fully went ham on Null being unlocked officially, adding him into my arena team as well. I built up my Liberty team for the Escape from Kiln event, and that costed about 76 million roughly. So this is how I'm tracking things, right? This is how I'm making sure that I'm staying accountable and making sure that I track this, because that's going to give me a good sense of my overall spending. But I'm not surprised, because usually after the anniversary, you know, I would suspect now anywhere from April to the end of this year, spending is going to be higher. Usually it tails off in November and December based on the trends that we've seen. So totality here, we still earned 329 million in the month, but our gold balance only increased slightly because of that additional spending that's been done. Now let's talk about the big month here, being April. This was an expensive month, ladies and gentlemen. We had Shadow King and Logan Trials return, so that was nice because we got a little bit of freebies here and there. We had Sword Satellite coming back, and we also had Fallen Dimensions event, respectively. One for that's more accessible, that you don't need Vigilante on. And I was partaking in the Omega because I fully invested in my Vigilante team. I made a separate video on that, guys, but basically TLDR. Vigilantes needed for Age of X. Kind of all the stars align. You need them for raids, so it kind of made sense to actually invest in them. And then because of that opportunity, why the heck not invest in them so that you can actually just dabble in an additional gear tier 20. But this is the first month of the year where our gold balance went down. We went from 739 million to 710, so we actually decreased by 29 million slightly, but also driven from the fact that our gold spending, out of all the months I showed you, is the highest, right? The previous month at 273 was pretty high already, but then we actually had to combo that back up with this month because of a full team getting invested in. 316 million in total. So 6 million gold per day still every single day I'm doing, but then remember, 2 of those days required an additional 136 million invested in Vigilante. So that makes sense. I spent roughly 150, so if you do the 136 plus 12, that's gonna get you close to there. So although our gold balance actually stayed flat for the month, we actually spent quite a bit of cores and as well as gold investing in the Vigilante. So you can even see here, right, my April to March update, we were actually 71,500 power cores, and we decreased all the way to 60,000. Reason being, again, is that I spent about roughly 20,000 power cores to unlock Vigilante free to play, and that's why it's so important to save, guys. It's allowed me to pivot like this, and at the same time too, my gold balance basically stayed flat, and we're still on track to hit 1 billion by the end of the year, assuming nothing comes along the way. But you can see my campaign energy is just going through the moon right now, because we went from 4,600 campaign and 7,100 ISO 8 now to 17,000 campaign and 25,000 ISO 8. It might be data, guys. We may not need campaign energy anymore. Hoarding might be dead. I'm planning to make a separate video on that, but yeah, just a heads up. So still continue where we left off. 2025, spending 6 million gold per day continues to build a massive gold supply, or at least stay flat. Our gold economy is strong, and even as you saw with the investment of a full-on team in Vigilante, I did not have Electra or Punisher invested in. That costed additional spending than what I'm used to. The gold economy is very strong though, guys. So hopefully this is helpful. This is a quick little snapshot of what to expect in terms of the monthly update. And like I said, I like to track this to see where we are, how we are doing, especially compared to last year. And we're still stronger than last year, and the numbers still seem to be going up. Remember, there may or may not be a Dark Dimension this year, but we have Age of X announced now, and we have also the Age of Annihilus stuff. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and I'll keep you guys up to date on how this trends as the year progresses. Thank you for your time as always. Let me know anything comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.